speaking about Raya and the Arsenal performance yesterday, would you say maybe that he is the most important player on the Arsenal squad at the moment?
It's funny, we've just come off talking about Real Madrid. I feel like I could get our notes out. Yeah, so how good were you if your goalkeeper is man of the match? Should you be worried going into the second leg? What does this say about the way you defend, etc., etc., etc.? The most revealing thing about that Arteta interview, as Gabriel Clark's talking to him, he can see a monitor and they're showing the saves. You can see the annoyance in his face at the defending that leads to those opportunities. Also, classic manager speak, Mikel Arteta said, yes, he had two big moments. No, he made about 5 or 6 fantastic saves. So he's trying to play it down as well. Look, Raya was easily man of the match for Arsenal last night. He kept them in it. Had the first shot in particular, I mean, that was 66 miles an hour, the one he got a fingertip to, that pushed it onto the bar. Incredible save. He was absolutely superb.
There's only a handful of goalkeepers that can put that type of performance, and you almost like expect it, right? There's one thing to stand on your head, nobody knows who you are, and it's a career-defining performance. But can Raya put this game together? Yeah. Can Courtois put these games together and win your Champions League?
That's another one.
It's expected, right? Can Alisson in his day?
Well, do you remember Alisson PSG last season for Liverpool?
Correct. Donnarumma. There's only a handful of goalkeepers. It's not a lot. There's less goalkeepers than there are Champions League.
I think he's only just joined that echelon, though, Nico, in the last sort of season and a half. He's only just joined it.
I think it raises questions that he should be the starting goalkeeper for the Spanish national team, but that's another question. It's wild. I think the player who starts over him isn't in that echelon.
Yeah, he's trusted by the manager, though.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a big thing.
That's a whole nother segment diving into that. But is this a player that Arsenal will be able to rely on next week to help get the job done as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we've had this discussion on this very desk, I think, with the same panel. I think, although J.D. Dyer in there as well, who's been on the show, David Raya could end up being the difference between Arsenal winning multiple trophies and Arsenal finishing what they started in just the Premier League, right? And we had talked about how important it is to have a top-notch goalkeeper in the UEFA Champions League. Every team is good from here on out. You're going to have moments where you're not playing your best. And, I mean, for Arsenal to have a goalkeeper like him who's good with his feet, who's also really important in their build-up as well. Don't forget that, right? We saw the difference, and I think we've really seen the difference in the last 2 matches of how important David Raya is. If you're Mikel Arteta, you should have played him in the FA Cup, right? And we're giving him flowers because he's been that important, and you really see the void and the shadow he casts when he's not in there. Another player, though, that I think is on equal footing in terms of importance that I don't want to overlook, Declan Rice was outstanding yesterday.
I think there's a particularity here because if you look at the players in this lineup, Subimendi, Rice, I think his biggest threat to that PFA Player of the Year is Declan Rice. Even Saka, who wasn't available yesterday, you try to find a superstar, like who is the poster boy of this Arsenal team? And I think you struggle to pick out one person. Usually in Premier League winning teams or in Champions League winning teams, there is a Haaland, Kun Agüero, Wayne Rooney, Kevin. There are players that you say, wow, the work that this guy did. And I think
it's a good discussion. Yeah.
Arsenal's one of those teams that just likes to make games very gritty and dogged, especially the closer they get to trophies. It feels like Arsenal will muddy the match even more. There's no chance you're going to get past me. We're not going to play pretty football. We're not going to entertain you. We're just here to win and do our homework, which is lift the title at the end of the season. So they don't care. And I think that approach to their way of trying to win a title kind of opens the door to our questions about who's their superstar.
How significant is this, before we go on, Jeff, how significant is it, though, for you that Kai Havertz, who's been missing for much of the season, came in and not just scored the winner, but scored the quality of goal that he scored? Because the big question mark, not just the mentality about Arsenal, has been, where are the consistent number of goals going to come from? It's not going to come from Bukayo Saka because you joked around about it. He's been missing this season. He's been poor. Martin Odegaard, yet again, looks like a player that is lacking confidence, lacking sharpness. So how significant in the final run-in could Kai Havertz be?
Well, it's not just him. If you think last night, Arteta's subs work, because Martinelli, who made the goal, came on. It was a fantastic pass as well.
Oh.
So depth of squad will come into it. I think they'll need all of them, and it goes back to Nico's point. There's nobody at the moment who is maybe Declan Rice and maybe David Raya. There's no individual who you would say is the focal point. Normally look at the number 9 as the focal point.
Right.
Arsenal don't have that. But I think maybe the wider picture, the most significant thing about last night, people have forgotten. They lost their 2 previous cup competitions. Their last 2 games they've lost. And that's the first time they've lost 2 in a row. Had they lost 3 in a row last night...
Or even winless in 3.
Yeah, it would have been unbearable for them. It wasn't overly impressive. It was massively important.
So is it what's going on in the offense that maybe makes you hesitate about Arsenal being able to move forward in this competition?
It's not case. No, I don't doubt them in their offense going forwards. It's the way they play. It's too late to change the way they play this season, and they can quite rightfully turn around and say, well, we're 9 points clear, we're in the box seat in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. Why would we change?
You can also make an argument that they've gotten to the point where they are in this competition and in the Premier League because of the way they play. So we're always talking about, should they change the way they play? Well, no, because they are where they are because of how they play.
Again, they don't have an obligation to entertain us. They don't have an obligation to have us walk away from their matches and go, wow, Arsenal were incredible today. No. Arsenal won today. They win. That's what they do. Where I do have a couple of concerns, listen, I think their path was fairly favorable up until a potential semi-final. Mind you, they still need to get through the second leg of this quarterfinal. But if they are to progress...
I don't think it's over either, the tie.
Right. I wholeheartedly agree.
Play a lot better.
Wholeheartedly agree.
For me, they didn't go for it enough.
If they are to get to a semi-final, I think Arsenal are going to have to show something else, a different facet to their game, because you can make a match very rugged, very nasty, but at one point, enough quality in your opposition can figure it out. And I don't think they've faced that often in the Premier League this season. A team of superlative quality in the Premier League to win, in the Champions League to win it, you have to be superlative.
Anyone can turn it around. I'll say it's Sporting CP. I had them in the done and dusted category when they took on Bodo Glimt in the last stage, and look what they were able to do in the second leg. So, Jeff, looking ahead to the job that Arsenal has in their next 2 games, they're home versus Bournemouth this weekend, home versus Sporting next week. Where's your confidence level out? Let's pull out the meter here that we have for you. This is what you have to work with. Arteta.
This is totally unfair to give an Arsenal fan.
Arteta for life, trophy season, feeling good, finding form, hair pulling, head bashing. Where do you put yourself here?
I think I actually wear this panic meter on my head when I watch Arsenal games and the dial is
constantly going back and forth.
Yeah, the whole time. As we sit here right now, I'm going to go. Can I go the arrow right between?
No, you got to pick one. Can't
Don't sit on the fence. Fence is creaking.
The answer's obvious.
Yeah.
I'm going trophy season.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Trophy season.
Yeah. What Jeff said, I think, is right on the money, right? The most important thing was stopping the negative momentum.
Yeah, stop the
right? Winning. And getting that winning feeling back into the team. This is an Arsenal team that, when they've had setbacks, they've actually done a really good job of getting right back to winning and then taking a momentum and getting wins and wins and wins and wins. And now's the time. Now's the time to deliver.
I don't think you appreciate how hard work it is being an Arsenal fan.
I know. I see it written on your face.
I will say something that deserves reinforcing. It was said yesterday here. It was said in the pregame show in the Champions League. There's 2 different Arsenal perspectives. The one that happens here, the one that happens in your group chats, the one that happens amongst the friends. The most important one is the one that happens inside of the club, and not only that, because the club, the people in administration and the people in the front desk are probably biting their nails as much as every other Arsenal fan. It's what's happening within the dressing room. The message and the unity and the harmony of that squad and understanding the objectives. And I think, considering how they bounce back, that is very robust at the moment.
All of that is very true, very eloquently put, and very well thought out. But I'd pay you a lot of money to end the season by the end of this week.
Right now.
Just get it done. Whatever it is, I'll take it.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.